back to the Imperial Order podcast, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Don Martino. I am your host for the day, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, including the Book of Boba Fett finale. That's going to be fantastic. We do have a release date for Obi Wan as well, and I got an interesting theory I want to run by y'all, so we're going to get into all that here today. But sitting over to my right is Mr. Jose Espinel. Jose, how's it going today, my brother?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. I can't wait to get into Book of Boba Fett and all this other interesting stuff, and I can't wait to hear your theory, man. I've been waiting.
Yeah, dude. But before we get started, guys, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit the bell for notifications. So appreciate that, and make sure you do all that, and tell your friends this is the home for Star Wars content. Why don't you? So, yeah. They can all come over here and check it out. It sure is. It sure is. It sure is, my guy, and especially after what I have on the table. I'm not trying to flex. I'm not trying to say I have the greatest Star Wars theory in the world, but I am pretty proud of myself on this one. Not gonna lie.
You came up with this yourself?
This is my own theory, yeah. Because Adam and I were having a conversation earlier about Luke Skywalker, which is really why I wanted to have him on the show today. And he was talking about the Luke in the Book of Boba Fett versus the Luke in The Last Jedi. And what he was saying is he actually does not like the Luke in the Book of Boba Fett. So what he was saying, though, and I actually thought he gave a pretty good observation here, is the fact that in the Return of the Jedi, Luke was working to redefine what it meant to be a Jedi and everything. And then in the Book of Boba Fett, he's not that way. He's kind of back to abandon all attachments and all that kind of stuff. Right. And then you get into The Last Jedi. In that respect, The Last Jedi Luke is more consistent with the original trilogy Luke, when you think about it, because the Luke in The Last Jedi is still working to, redefine what it means to be a Jedi, as opposed to the Luke that we got in the Book of Boba Fett. It does feel like the more inconsistent Luke Skywalker. I know everybody's going to at me, but hey, look, it's the truth. So I was talking to him about this, and I was like, you're not wrong. Am I pissed off about it? No, because I do think there's an interesting story there to tell, which is what I was trying to tell him. As I think that, there's still a lot of story here to tell, but that's really why I wanted to have Adam on the show today, because I wanted him to give this observation he had anyway. So the question came up about how does it all connect now? How do you lead this into the sequel trilogy and make it all work? So my suggestion was this, because I was thinking about why would Luke Skywalker kind of go back or revert back to abandon all attachment, the old way of doing things. And the first thing I thought of was Ahsoka Tano. And we know Ahsoka's working with Luke right now.
Right.
And her influence of the Clone Wars era could have influence on Luke Skywalker right now. Now we know, and spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett, everybody, Grogu picked the Beskar armor.
Right.
And he goes back to he goes back to Din Djarin,
to see Din Djarin,
Mando. He chose Mando over Luke. I think what's going to happen is Luke is actually going to feel like he failed Grogu. I think this is going to start a path of depression for Luke Skywalker. I think that out of impulse, he's going to start training a bunch of students, and Ben Solo is going to be one of them. And I think he's going to...
So we're going to go back to that. We're going to get that story of, the whole Ben Solo betrayal thingy.
Absolutely. I think he's going to team up with Ahsoka, and I think Ben Solo's frustration is going to be it's going to be all a part of the fact that he's upset that Ahsoka is going back to the old way of doing things, and he doesn't like her influence on Luke. And I think the first person that Ben kills before he kills all the students
is Ahsoka.
I think I
knew you were gonna go there. I knew you were gonna say that Ben Solo is gonna kill Ahsoka and then kill all the students, and then is gonna try and kill Luke. But then obviously we know that doesn't happen because Luke dies from force projecting himself to Ben Solo.
And it just makes so much sense because Ahsoka is no longer around by the time.
Right, by that time, by the time Ben Solo betrays Luke, Ahsoka isn't in the picture, and neither are any of the students that Luke trained.
Neither is Grogu, and I know people are going to be disappointed with that. They're going to go like, "Well, we're not going to see Grogu become a Jedi." It's like, "Oh no, 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 no!" There's a cool thing here with Grogu now, because if Grogu has his Force abilities untrained, that could be very dangerous, and that could raise a lot of stakes for the Mandalorian. That could be a really cool angle to play into.
And the other thing too is that, I mean, we do see, I mean, the poster for season 3 that was leaked is Grogu with the yellow lightsaber. So, I mean,
we
I
see
think
him and Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber being built.
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah.
That looks the size for Grogu,
Yeah.
and that is yellow. So I feel like we will be seeing that in season 3 of Mandalorian.
I don't know anymore. I think that poster was a misdirect, honestly, at this point. I do. I think Grogu's hanging out with Mando. I think that's where he stays. I think he's gonna remain untrained, because then you would have to answer. It's a big plot hole otherwise, because then you have to answer the question, where the hell was Grogu in the sequels? You know, so I think he remains pretty untrained. He's not over there helping the Resistance by the time we get to the sequels.
Unless we get those questions answered somewhere in Mandalorian season 3.
Of course, it could be something different. I mean, you know, it's possible, but
also I'm glad that they let Grogu keep his robes.
Yeah,
like it's cool that he has the Beskar shirt, and Mando even called it a shirt.
Yeah,
it's cool he has a shirt under his robes, but I'm glad that they put the robes over the shirt.
I knew you were going to be happy about that. I thought of you immediately when I saw it, so that worked out.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw that Grogu obviously landed in, these are more spoilers, obviously, guys. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, click off. But
yeah, let's just jump into it. I mean, keep going.
Yeah, I knew that when I saw Luke's X-wing, I knew that Luke wasn't going to be in there. I knew it was going to be Grogu from the get-go. Which in my mind, I knew that Grogu had chosen the Beskar shirt. And so when Mando pulls down his robe and he sees the shirt, I was just glad that they put the robes over the shirt, because if not, then that would have been very weird.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I would have just felt very uncomfortable with that. And I mean, the robe is really what makes like Grogu even that much cuter, if I'm being honest.
I haven't talked to you about the episode at all yet. Did you enjoy it?
I saw your spoiler breakdown on the Imperial shorts. I agree to an extent with you about how some of the scenes could have been shot better. I do feel like they could have, but I just feel like all the action that was going down kind of just didn't have me thinking about that. At least not when my first watch through. It wasn't until I gave it a couple more watches that I was like, okay, yeah, some of those action scenes could have been shot better. But I just really enjoyed. Oh my gosh, my favorite scene was Mando and Boba fighting together.
Yeah,
when they like surprised the Pike Syndicate.
That was amazing.
Guys. That was probably one of the most well shot scenes of that episode. Yeah. Honestly, that
was good.
Like seeing them team up and work together was just phenomenal.
Yeah, that
honestly.
stuff was good. Then, I remember I said, by no means do I dislike the episode, because I did say there are scenes that are greatly shot. There were just a few
Boba Fett riding the Rancor was also really sick. Din Djarin, Mendo bringing out the Darksaber and destroying that. Like you said, Droideka 2.0.
Yeah, it is the Droideka 2.0. Am I wrong?
It's just minus the fact that it can't, spin around like a Droideka. But
yeah.
Oh my gosh, the Cad Bane Boba Fett fight, while it was short, was really cool.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, Cad Bane might be dead, but I don't know. I have a feeling he might not.
I think he's dead.
I don't know. And if he's dead, I mean, I guess it's a cool send off to Cad Bane.
I think that's them adding this like exclusivity to the Boba Fett show. It's like you can only get the Cad Bane live action version in Boba Fett, so that's what we have.
And it's a cool. I mean, I guess it's also a cool way to send off Cad Bane. I mean, who else to kill Cad Bane than Boba Fett?
Yeah,
honestly.
I think he's dead.
And then the other thing too is, I remember you talking about the end credit scene, where you think that where they might make like a separate series for him. I think this is setting up for season 3 of Mandalorian, because obviously we saw that he was in the back of the tank, but then he was also the guy, the surgeon dude was also there. So I feel like they're gonna obviously make him like part droid as well. to keep him alive.
I think
Like they did with Fennec Shan. They're obviously going to be making him half droid, or maybe not even half droid, but like part droid to keep him alive, like they did with Fennec. And I just think, and I kind of disagree with you in the point where you said that like if we don't get a season 2, you wouldn't be mad because like the way they kind of ended it. But in a way, I feel like whether he gets more involvement in a season 2 of Boba Fett or if it's in season 3, I think that they were setting something up there at the end with Fennec Shan and Boba Fett for like more.
Well, I do too, but I just think it's going to cross over into other series. I don't think we necessarily need a season 2 to make it work. If we get a season 2, I'm not going to be pissed. But if we don't get a season 2, I'm not going to be pissed either. Like
at the least, just at the least more of him in season 3 Mandalorian. Like I would love to see a lot more of Fennec Shan and Boba in season 3.
That's what I was thinking more. Yeah.
Because we're definitely not done with these two, and there's a lot more to come.
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
And they said that Boba Fett was like, "Well, Fennec Shan told Boba Fett that this is not you," and he was like, "Yeah, I kind of just want to." He basically said that I want to like leave this place to someone else, and then she was like, "Well, who?" And so I feel like they were setting something up there.
Yeah, I think they're like, we're not cut out for this anymore, and we're just basically going to go help Din Djarin take over Mandalore. I think that's what they're getting at, and they're just going to leave.
He's gonna, and I'm really interested to see who he leaves the command to. Honestly,
yeah, me too.
I think he might leave it to Cobb Vanth, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think. Have the Marshal lead.
Yeah, I think honestly, this is what I think is going to happen because the Rangers of the New Republic series was initially supposed to be Cara Dune and
I did hear you say that in your spoiler.
Cobb Vanth, and there's been rumors, nothing confirmed, that it might be back on now. And so I'm
guessing without Cara Dune,
it wouldn't be with her, right? So my thinking is if it's like if they are going to bring it back, why not have Cobb Vanth take the lead, and then have Bo-Katan still in there, and I think we might even get it this year as a surprise. I think they might announce it as Celebration that we're going to get that as kind of a precursor to Mandalorian season 3. It's going to lead right into it. It makes sense to me if you do it.
I wouldn't be mad with that. I'd actually be very excited for that. I think they could do some really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, because I think we'll get Andor in well, you'd have to do Andor in like Andor will go from October to November, so it might overlap if they do like a Rangers thing with Cobb Vanth and Bo-Katan or something.
Unless they release it in like December.
No, because that's where I would say Mando's going to come out. That was my thinking.
Unless they release it before Andor.
They'll probably release Andor first because it has so many episodes.
That's what I mean. So they'll release Obi Wan, then they'll release Rangers of the New Republic.
Oh, you could do that. You do have a little.
That's what I mean. There. Yeah. You could do because Kenobi first, and then you could do Rangers of the New Republic in the middle there, and then Andor, and then Mandalorian season 3. So
yeah,
they could do it like that.
I just don't know how concerned they are anymore about. I don't think they are actually about overlapping with some of the Marvel shows. I don't think they. Really are.
Honestly no, because I mean people who are there's some people who are Marvel fans who are also Star Wars fans, and Star Wars fans who are Marvel fans.
We're gonna watch them anyway, right?
You're gonna. The fans are gonna watch both of them either way. And if you have just the Marvel fans can focus on just the Marvel movies, and just the Star Wars fans can focus on just the Star Wars shows. So I mean, overlapping doesn't really matter because either way they're all gonna get watched.
I think they're very confident in Obi-Wan, so they're gonna put out Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's gonna kill it, and then
Obi-Wan, like you said, it already has a release date of May 25th.
And then it's like, how do we keep our subscribers for another month who are just
put something in the middle there.
Well, they loved Obi-Wan. We're gonna give you like Rangers, and then you're gonna go into Andor, and then you're gonna go into Mando season 3. So
and that's the thing too is that they actually don't have many shows lined up right now for this phase.
Not for this, right? So for this year,
the only show I think that might come out this year is Loki season 2.
Oh, you mean like Marvel? I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Marvel doesn't have any shows lined up for this phase. It's just all movies. So the only show that could come out this year would be Loki season 2 because it's the only
2023 anyway.
Either and even then, like it's the only show that's been announced for a second season. Like there's no WandaVision season 2, Falcon Winter Soldier season 2, or Hawkeye season 2. So like Loki's the only show that's been announced for season 2, and we might not even get it this year. So like they don't have any other shows announced for this phase. It's just a bunch of movies. So either way, Disney could overlap this whole year with shows because Marvel doesn't have
Yeah.
any shows lined up. I mean,
sure they could. Yeah,
yeah,
so that would actually make sense to me if we got like a Cobb Vanth Bo-Katan thing.
that I mean that
leading
would
in.
honestly, I mean, it does make sense, and I'm 100% down for that.
Yeah.
If Disney does do that, then I mean I'd be 100% down.
I just think it would make for like a great precursor too, because like we got like the Din Djarin side of things in Boba Fett. Where's Bo-Katan been? You know, so like I think you can like build that up, and then that would make for.
Oh, and in that
fantastic
Rangers of
season
the New
three.
Republic, I mean, we could also get Boba Fett and Din Djarin in that too.
Yeah, yeah, you could.
Because we could maybe even see the whole Darksaber debacle before season 3 of Mandalorian in that in the Rangers of the New Republic. Because I mean, fans have been wondering what actually happened between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, because
possible.
The next time we saw Din Djarin, he already had the Darksaber. So like we all were questioning like what happened. Like
Yeah.
did he fight? Did he fight her? Did he not? Did he just leave? Like what happened?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's true. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what gets announced at Celebration. I do think that there is.
like, this is the year. This is the year of Star Wars.
It is.
It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah.
And
100%.
look, I mean, yeah, I did really enjoy this episode. I know that this has been very divisive in the reception.
That's what I keep hearing, honestly, is that it's very divisive. I mean, it's understandable, honestly. I mean,
yeah, I mean, look, I know people don't want Robert Rodriguez to touch Star Wars. I don't believe in that. I honestly think he did a pretty good job.
Him and Favreau killed it, man. It was great. But yeah, honestly, looking back at it and rewatching a couple of times, I do have to say that episode 5 was definitely my favorite. Upon rewatching the episodes, I would definitely have to like. I remember. I know I said in the previous podcast episode that episode 6 was my favorite, but upon rewatching,
yeah, mine too.
All the episodes, episode 5 was definitely my favorite.
Mine too, for sure, man. And like you know,
Bryce Dallas Howard, she killed it,
Bryce
man.
Dallas Howard did great, yeah.
She killed the whole thing.
And I think like looking back at it too, I mean, Robert Rodriguez at first did have like the 2 weakest episodes. I don't know where I rank the finale yet. It's definitely not my favorite by any means, but you know,
I think I'm it's kind of hard to compare the 6th episode with this one, if I'm being honest. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I like the 6th one better than this one. I can at least say that.
But then I look back to episode 2, which was my favorite at the time.
Episode 2 was great. Episode 4 was great, and then 1 and 3 were okay. I mean, they were good. I liked them. Yeah. So I'd
probably put like the 2nd episode at number 2.
Yeah.
And then probably episode 6 at number 3. If I'm being honest.
I do like that the show just like definitely introduced us to like 2 new potential Star Wars directors for the future. I mean, Kevin Tacharian and Steph Green. I mean, I think that
they both killed it.
Yeah, they just both first time onto the scene, and yeah,
they were episode. Were they episode 2? Were they episode 2 and 4?
2 and 4. Yeah. So Steph Green did 2, and Kevin did 4. So
she killed that episode.
Yeah.
She killed episode 2. That was honestly great. I loved it.
I think that, looking back on it, I mean, it was a good show overall. It really was. I was
gonna say, I mean, overall, I was very happy with the outcome of all 7 episodes.
I think so. Yeah, I think a lot of people do need to go back and binge it together. I think it'll make a difference too.
And that always makes a difference when it comes to shows. Is, you know, when you have to wait a week for the episode to come out, it's different from just binging the whole season at once. You definitely always have a different experience.
It's, you know, the other thing about the show is it's structured so differently than Mandalorian. So, you know, for a lot of people, I do feel like maybe it was just kind of jarring, because Mandalorian's whole thing is like the quest is the story. You know, the quest that he goes on is kind of the story. With Boba Fett,
where this was more of like, and it's a lot of flashbacks and more like mafia driven head leader.
Yeah, it's
which
a lot of
you know which a lot of people, you know, aren't the biggest fans of, but you just gotta kind of ease yourself into it, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of building up and setting up, but you know, I think it made for a pretty cool finale. It was a fun little thing. Look, it's better than no Star Wars in December or in the winter time.
Yeah, true. Because I mean, we could have just had nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I honestly like thought this was a fun little thing they put together. And Sammy and I were talking about this too. because she was like, no, the show wasn't perfect, but I had a good time with it. It's like, yeah, I think that's kind of where they're at now, though. I don't think they're striving for perfection these days. I think they're just trying to deliver on a really good time, and like I think they achieved that here. And so with this finale going into it, I wasn't actually quite sure what to expect, other than like the war with the Pikes. I knew that was going to come, but
I was gonna say honestly, like I didn't know what to expect,
right,
except for the fight between Boba, Mando, and all them against the Pikes.
yeah.
I kind of did suspect all those groups to turn on Boba. I
Oh,
wasn't
did you?
surprised. I wasn't surprised at that,
I
honestly.
thought that was a really interesting angle, and it just kept the tension just kept building throughout the entire
Yeah,
episode.
when in the episode where he like asked them to be neutral when the Pikes attack, and they
Mm-hmm.
are like, "This sounds great," or whatever. From then I kind of suspected that they were gonna turn on Boba. Honestly, like I
It
saw it
made
coming.
sense. It made sense.
It made sense, and I kind of expected it too at the same time because
I half expected Fennec to turn on him by the end of this thing, but look, I mean, she stuck
bro,
by him. I'm good
I
with
like
it.
the scene where she went and killed like the mayor and all
That
those
stuff was
guys.
good. Yeah,
That was
man.
sick.
Yeah, that was
That
cool.
was sick.
That was another thing. I didn't mention this in my short breakdown.
I saw and I saw that, and I saw you to mention that, and I wanted to talk about it in this with you here.
The thing is like I was honestly thinking the whole time, like the reason I didn't mention it, I think, is because I did like the scene, but Fennec in that entire episode was a little forgettable, just because she didn't have a lot of moments. And I think it could have
honestly,
more
yeah.
Fennec.
I mean,
It could have used more Fennec.
she just like talked a bit with Boba, and then she went and sniped a couple people to save those droid people, and then I mean, you didn't really see much else of her.
Stuff she had was cool, but she maybe had a total of two
And
and a
then
half minutes of screen time. Then
the sniping with that other girl on the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't really see much else from her except for that. I think this one was more of a Boba Mando heavy episode for sure.
And I'm down with that. Yeah, because I did love the team up aspect of it. It was really fantastic.
But you know, the thing is, now that I think about it, this whole episode or this whole season as a whole didn't really have much of Fennec in it. When you really think about all the episodes.
No, it didn't, and I think the show could use more of her, because I think
that's what I mean, and that's what I mean. I wanted to see more of her, but when I really think back to it, you didn't really see much of Fennec Shan at all. Like
it's interesting because once all is said and done here, one of the things I keep hearing people talk about is Fennec as a standout of the show. When she is on screen, she's actually really cool to watch.
Oh, and she is. She's incredible. Yeah. And that's why I feel like they could have. Well, I wished and felt like they could have used her more.
Yeah. I think they will now in future Star Wars projects. I mean,
100%. Like Mandalorian season 3, I'm ready.
Yeah, Fennec Shan they're gonna go Fennec Shan crazy, because I think a lot of people just dig the character. Even the ones that didn't like the show were like, but I love Fennec, and like, so yeah, that's a really, I mean, kudos to Ming-Na Wen for playing the role so well. She's great in the show. And yeah.
Oh, and the scenes the scenes with Grogu using the Force were really sick too, by the way. Like Grogu with the Rancor when he calmed him down, that was really, really, really cool. I really enjoyed that.
That was cool. That
was actually really cool.
Now my question is that something he learned with Luke though? Because
yes,
I would say yes. Yeah,
I was gonna say yes. Yeah, I feel like everything that he learned that he used in this episode, he learned all from Luke.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, the only thing they really showed him with creatures wise, I guess, was the frogs. So that was, I don't know if he was like making actual connections with them through the Force or what, but either way,
he probably learned like how to have compassion for creatures, and instead of eating them, to have to like show compassion to them,
which is a big part of the Jedi training. I mean, we saw Ezra Bridger and Star Wars Rebels do a lot of that with when Kanan was training him. And so
I started rewatching that, by the way, because I remember that it's been a while since I've seen Rebels.
I fucking love Rebels, dude.
I'm starting to rewatch that right now.
It's one of my favorites, man. I really love Rebels. It's great Star Wars.
But the other thing too I was gonna mention, which I know you touched on in your spoiler review, was the scene where the cart flip that the cart that they were driving when it flipped.
Yeah.
And you had that slow motion scene of Din Djarin catching Grogu.
It might be my favorite shot in the entire series, honestly, because that was good.
Making it slow mo was the best decision they made.
Awesome.
Watch it, because I feel like if it was fast the whole way through, it wouldn't have hit as nicely as it did in slow-mo, because watching like Grogu fly in the sky and like Din Djarin like turning and like grabbing Grogu, catching him, and then sliding on his back was like, that was some phenomenal stuff,
It was
bro.
awesome.
It was
But
awesome.
it just, you know what it did? It didn't really, because honestly, Grogu probably still would have landed on his feet and been fine, but like it just
Yeah, because
showed,
he's got. I mean, he's a Jedi. He's got the
right.
Force. Like
But it served Mando so well in that moment, you know,
it
just
showed.
be,
It
yeah,
showed. It showed him as a carer.
yeah,
You know, like it showed him as like a father figure. Like he wanted to catch his son and like protect the son.
yeah.
It's what it
That's what
showed in
it
that
did.
scene.
Yeah,
And the scene where he finds out that Grogu was in that cart with him, and you know Grogu jumps and like hugs Mando. That was really cute as well.
yeah.
And like you said, you could see his expression through the helmet when he saw
Mm-hmm.
that Grogu. Like the whole
It's,
the whole the whole
again,
time the whole time when they shoot those scenes, they can just tell the emotion that Dinjar and like that, you know, Pedro Pascal is putting under that mask is, you can tell what his emotion is, and I just love it, man.
yeah,
You can
no,
just
you're right.
tell.
It's like before they go into shooting anything with Mando, they talk about what is he feeling, what is he, you know,
And
what,
how can we portray it on camera to make it
right.
feel like the you know the person watching can know what expression he's
How can we
giving.
have him move or react, or what can he say, or you know, it's everything. It's like it all matters to make the scenes work. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
like really at the end of the day, when you strip it all back and just leave Mando there, it's like that stuff is what's making this work really well. Like it's the strongest part of it. The Mando Grogu relationship, it's what makes everything work about everything they're doing right now and with these shows. It's awesome. And honestly, yeah, Steve Harrington needs to step aside and give Mando the best world's best babysitter crown. Sorry, I know a lot of people.
I saw your spoiler review when you mentioned that.
It's true. I mean, that shot just he is the world's best
It said it
babysitter.
all. It
Yeah.
said it all, man. And the, oh my gosh, in the scene when Mando and Baby Yoda were, or Grogu were in the ship, and he was like tapping the ball in the glass. That was some good stuff too.
I was gonna mention it when we were doing the episode, and I just completely forgot to when he was getting the N1 Starfighter made. I noticed that they
That
put the
yeah,
glass piece
yeah, so he basically turned the
where the
place where the
droid would
droid
usually go.
into like a nursery type room for Grogu.
Yeah,
Which when I saw you mention that in your spoiler review, it made so much sense in my head now.
subtle foreshadowing. That's really good of them, because you see that glass piece, you're like, that kid's going in there. We all saw it coming, and yeah, it was adorable, man. I loved it. I loved watching
He's got a
him.
little. He's like, all right, so he's not gonna be able to sit with me, but how can I have it to where he can still fly with me?
Yeah,
All right, cool. I'm gonna turn this droid, you know, the place where the droid goes, into like a little seat for Grogu.
that just also does a lot for the character too, because it's almost like Mando always knew that Grogu would come back to him somehow. The fact that he made that modification happen.
Well, yeah, I feel like as soon as he made that shirt for Grogu, he like knew instantly that Grogu would pick Mando,
Yeah,
like to come back to Mando,
yeah,
especially when Grogu saw Mando fly away,
yeah.
and that he knew it was Mando. He's like, okay, I want to go back. I want to go back to Mando and see him because I miss him so much.
I agree.
That Mando knew that Grogu would always come back to him.
I agree with you, man. I do. I think that yeah,
That's just goes
spoke
to show
volumes
like
about the character.
how strong their connection is. You know how much they
So
both
good.
care for each other.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's true. Yeah, and like just the way he just like jumped in his arms and just all that stuff just played.
dude.
It
Yeah,
played.
whenever Grogu, like when Mando first saw Grogu, when he found out that he was in that cart, and then Grogu like jumped into like up to his chest and like started hugging Mando. That was some cute stuff, man.
Yeah.
It was, and like Grogu smiled at Mando too and everything. Yeah, it was some good. It was cute stuff, man.
So at the end of the day, I mean, sure, I mean the action might not have been shot as well, but that's not the thing we're left talking about after this. Like, we're really honing
Yeah,
in
let's talk.
mostly on these character moments,
Well, and
and
that's the thing,
that's
and it all just comes back to the fact that Grogu makes the shows.
mhm,
Like Grogu's what's making all these shows right now.
yeah,
Grogu's the main factor in all these shows that makes them so good.
absolutely,
Um, he's
absolutely,
just, and that is the best thing that Disney has done so
yeah,
far
yeah,
is making Grogu.
yeah. Peli
Because
Mata, though, let me talk about that character really quick, because she's one of those
she's hilarious, by the way.
sometimes
She's
yes, and then other times I'm like, oh, she's off. Like other times it's like this episode she annoyed me more than anything.
You know, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say that in this episode she annoyed me
more
so
than
much.
anything. Than like but the 1 and 5, I was like, you get moments like that. She grows on you, or when she was in Mandalorian season 2, she was.
I was
a
gonna
little
say
bit better.
in the episode where her and Mando were building the cruiser.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Like she was funny. She was funny too, mentioning how she was she got with the Jawa, furry.
Yeah.
Like that was some good stuff. That
I
was
liked
all
it.
really
Yeah,
good.
I thought it
That
was
was all
funny.
really good stuff. But
she's so hit or miss for me, man. I don't know how to feel about her yet, because there's episodes like that where she plays really well. She's very strong, or the one in Mandalorian
but it was also
season 2.
she was it was I mean it was kind of funny too in the finale when she was just driving in that cart driving into a war, but she didn't know. Like that was pretty funny.
It was consistent with the character, that's for sure. So I'll give you that one, because that was like, yeah, eye roll, like, oh yeah, she would do that, so yeah, definitely consistent with the character. And I did like the part where the carriage was going through and she was screaming. I thought that played really funny, but pretty much every other line just fell flat.
I was gonna say something. I felt like, because you said that the droid that was driving got shot, right? And that's why he flipped over. I felt like
No, I just think the carriage blew.
I think Grogu was the one that messed up the droid. Because if you look, Grogu's like, he has his like hand up to the droid, so I feel like he might have like done something to the droid.
I gotta go back and look at it then
with the Force. Because when I was watching very intently in this episode to try and catch like every single bit of detail I could possibly
I'll
catch.
Go back and look.
And if you look, Grogu's like sat there looking at the droid with his
really?
his hand up. So I feel like it was because as soon as Grogu put his hand up to the droid, that's when he started like not catching on fire, but like started smoking, and like electricity started like coming off of the droid. And then as soon as it happened, it flipped. So I feel like Grogu might have had something to do with that.
Possibly. Yeah, for sure. I'll have to go back and look. I did not catch that, so good catch.
But I mean, I might be wrong, but it was just something that
it's a good catch.
I noticed.
Yeah, if it's true, it's a good catch. Great catch. Yeah, man, I'll have to go back and look. I didn't even think about it, but
yeah. I mean, ultimately, we're always just gonna come back and talk about Grogu when it comes to this stuff, because he's just the main factor, and this is what the character everyone's fallen in love with. Honestly,
this is an improper use of the word, but because he's an actual living thing, but he is kind of the MacGuffin of the whole story. Like he's like the driving force, and it's like it's really wild. I mean, typically that is referred to as a like an item, and he's not necessarily an item, but they are kind of using him as an item too, in the sense that it's like he's the person that he's the thing that Mando was trying to retrieve, and he's kind of the MacGuffin of the story. But yeah, dude, yeah, Boba riding up on the Rancor, I mean, played really nicely.
That was honestly
badass.
When I saw the Rancor pop up, I was like, I already knew Boba was gonna be the one riding it, because it's like, who else but Boba? Because we saw him, kind of spark a connection with the Rancor, and was it episode 4? Yeah, so it was like, who else is gonna ride?
Yeah.
Is gonna be riding the Rancor but Boba himself, because he's grown such a connection to the Rancor.
Can I say something though? Going back to the beginning of the episode when they were planning everything out, I could not follow that plan to save my own life. I was like, huh? Like the entire time like their whole like where they were going to position everybody and all that, like just putting them out in the middle of the street. I gotta say, I was kind of like, why? Like it was like I kind of followed it. Don't get me wrong, I followed it in terms of what they were doing, but like every motion of it was kind of like, huh? Because it was just like, you're gonna put Black Chrysanthemum just right in the middle of the street, huh? Why not put him somewhere where he can have a better vantage point or something?
I was gonna say, because he was gonna have like 10 people come at him at once. Like he can only do so much. I mean, so obviously he got the electrical brass knuckles, which helped, but I mean, I was actually, now that you mentioned that, I actually think that he's gonna put Black Chrysanthemum. He might have hit like Cotta Bantha might have him as like a sidekick there on Mos Espa as like his number 2.
Yeah, if they do like a Rangers thing, he could be a part of that too, easily. Yeah, that'll work out really well. That's a good idea. But yeah, so I mean, the important part,
and obviously,
go ahead.
And the droid and the droid people too. Obviously, he'll have them as backup too.
But the important part is like, now that once they realized that their plan was dumb, they came up with an even better plan, which was to send the messenger out there, which we talked about.
Which, by the way, that was some funny stuff, bro. That was
It worked.
I actually really enjoyed that.
It worked.
That's because like when you find out that it was all just a distraction to like come out of nowhere and start shooting at the Pike Syndicate. That's when that scene was just
Oh, it was
phenomenal.
amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, Boba with his knee rockets and Mando shooting out those little pew pew thingies, whatever the hell they're called.
I just loved how high the stakes were, man. I mean, I do, because like there was so many moments where you.
Oh, and when the people of Freetown,
when
the people of Freetown came and helped,
right,
that was sick.
That was cool too. Yeah, you didn't know that if they were or not, honestly, and the episode kind of kept you guessing on that. And so, yeah, that was they were both just kind of going down. It felt like all hope was lost, and then there they came.
Yeah, whenever the droid people were like surrounded and Black Chrysanthemum was tackled and surrounded, you kind of felt like they were gonna lose.
All the
and then
time,
out of nowhere, the people of Freetown came and started taking all these Pike Syndicate, and that's when you're like, oh, okay, here's the turn of events.
Yeah, it's just all the time in this episode, all the time. This deal's getting worse all the time. Anyway, the Lando, but yeah. So I mean, look, the things that I just didn't like about it, I kind of got outweighed by the things I did like. You know what I mean? So that's
I mean, I feel like the only thing I didn't like about this episode was, again, like you said, and like I've repeated it, is just how certain action scenes were shot.
They were
like
a little clunky, from time to time. Yeah,
I mean, but that's probably the only things I didn't like. But those the stuff I liked outweighed it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like tenfold.
And the only reason I'm complaining about it in the first place is like, this is Robert Rodriguez. Did you see what he did in Mandalorian?
I was about to say, like, that was
an action director. You would think he'd
that is better. The best. Yeah. That is the best episode he's probably directed.
Yeah, honestly, the one in Mandalorian, the action was just so on point. Robert Rodriguez is fantastic at
directing. And I mean, and the stuff between Boba and Mando that he did in that episode was phenomenal too. Yeah, it was great.
But
great stuff,
dude, that shootout between him and Cad Bane, it really made a lot of this. And
that wasn't like when
did he pull that gaffy stick from his ass though? Because like I did not see like where I didn't.
No, it was on it. It was on his back.
Was it? I missed.
Did you miss it?
I did.
How much did you miss in this episode?
Nothing. But like that.
Bro, that was the first thing that I noticed that Boba had on his back.
I didn't notice it.
Was his gaffy stick. He had it on his back the whole time.
It's a thing now, I think, where I'm just so used to seeing it on him that I just don't notice when it's there. I think is more
I think he's always been carrying, ever since he got his suit back, he's always just carried it on his back. Every time he's in his suit, he just always has it on his back just in case, for emergency.
I'll say, and I thought it was dope when he pulled it out, but it does look like he's pulling it from his ass. It looks like it when you see it.
It was fucking sick when he pulled that gaffy stick out. As soon as I saw he had it on his back against Cad Bane, I knew that he was going to pull it out. I was like, there's no way in hell that he's not going to pull this out right now.
Yeah, it was unexpected to
fight Cad Bane, because obviously he was trained by the Tuscans on how to use it and how to fight properly with it. And so when I saw it on his back in this Western shootout with Cad Bane, I was like, it's coming out at some point. And when he pulled it out, dude, he completely fucked up Cad Bane. And it was like, dude, oh my God, yes. And this was what I've been waiting for.
Unexpected thing to me, because I didn't know that a gaffy stick could do this, is I just thought he was going to beat the hell out of him with it. But no, he turns it around and he stabs him with it. I was like, holy shit, that was cool.
I mean, I wasn't surprised, because I feel like the Tuscans, that's why they make that end sharp, is so they could kill their enemies.
It makes sense now. Now it makes sense. I just never thought of it until he did it. So
I guess I always have thought about that.
I've never thought about it.
That's just me.
Yeah. I've never really given a single squirt about the gaffy stick, and now
ever since,
love him. So
I don't know, ever since I've been like studying more about film, I just pay a lot more attention to
that's a good
stuff.
thing to do.
Yeah, honestly, like,
speaking of attention to detail, the shields though, man, like that was cool.
The Droideca's head?
Oh, so good, man. Because
after you hit it for a while, it starts overheating and you can go through it. It
was like
cool.
Such good attention to detail, in my opinion, because it was like, that reminded me of Battlefront 2 shit right there, which I really
100%. It was 100%. Cool.
Yeah. So that was consistent with just like,
and the Rancor pulling apart those Droideka 2.0 was really cool.
Oh yeah, super cool.
I remember you saying the reference of when the Rancor was loose, when he climbed the building, it reminded you of King Kong.
It was right
Dude,
out of King Kong.
you know what's
I
you know
loved
what's
it, but
fun?
it was right out of King Kong.
You know what's funny is that as soon as I saw the Rancor climb the building, the first thing that popped in my head was King Kong.
It was King
Literally
Kong
the first thing
it was
that popped
so
in my head
out of
was King Kong.
It was
Dude,
so out of King Kong.
dude, like the words that came out of my mouth when I was watching the show, when I
King
saw
Kong.
that scene specifically, the words that came out of my mouth was King Kong.
It was
Literally,
King Kong,
like
man.
it was King Kong.
Even just the way he like roared when he was at the top, I was like, yeah, it's King Kong. But I'm okay with it. Yeah, no,
No,
right.
I like that reference. Honestly, it was really funny.
Yeah.
I actually laughed. I laughed as I said King Kong in
Yeah.
that scene too, because I just thought it was hilarious how they pulled that right out of King Kong. It was funny.
You know, to me, what made
all he needed was a person
Right.
in his other hand, and then he's King Kong.
What's her name? Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, like what made the moment when Grogu did finally connect with him so effective, though, is that he tried to do that with like the droideka earlier, and like he failed. You know, like we expected.
Yeah, he ended up pulling a piece of the droid out,
and it came back at him, and we all expected him to just take the thing down because we'd seen him help Mando like that before. But the fact that he couldn't do it and he like failed at that was
that's where
perfect.
I think that's where I think. So I think they did that on purpose, and I'll tell you why.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel like it's because you can only connect to actual living things. Since I was a droid, you can't actually connect to it. True. But since the Rancor is an actual living thing, he was able to get into his mind and like connect to the Rancor.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And and get him to kind of calm down and lay down. And then it was so cute when Grogu went and like started petting him and then laid next to him and started sleeping too. That was so cute.
Well, we've also though, but don't get, the other thing too is we also saw him take down a machine earlier on. So that was kind of a little tease, like when Luke took out the training droid for him. Remember, he used the Force and took down the machine. So that was another reason you think he's gonna like do that to the droid. Like maybe it's just gonna like combust on itself.
That's what he attempted, obviously, but he ended up just pulling a piece of the droid out instead.
Yeah, it was unexpected to me. Like,
I feel like he's not. I feel like he tried, but he's not strong enough yet to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So the other thing we had too was the Mos Espa Vespas, and I just wish that they were more memorable.
But didn't? Oh wait, no, yeah. No, I was thinking about the scene where Grogu actually did destroy that little training droid. Wasn't it Grogu that did it though?
No.
Or was it Luke?
No. Boba jumped on top of him.
No. The training droid from episode.
The training droid was Grogu.
6.
If you watch it, Grogu.
Yeah, Grogu did that. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I feel like maybe that droid was too big, and he was only used to taking down like little droids. So
yeah, but I was saying like based on the fact that he did it before with something smaller, like in typical storytelling fashion, like if it was like conventional storytelling, you would like typically have Grogu do it like in a bigger situation, but because they didn't, it was cooler, the fact that they just didn't have him.
Has you thinking that maybe he's just not strong enough yet? Maybe he just needs more training to be able to take something out that's bigger.
Yeah. Anyway, the Mos Espa Vespas to me, I liked the girl.
Dude, honestly, those Vespas just bring me back. I don't know why they do, but they just bring me back to Luca for some reason.
Power Rangers, but yeah,
they bring but just the Vespas in general just bring me back to Luca for some reason. Like, I don't know why they just do.
There's a lot of Vespa references in Luca, but
that's what I mean. That's why it just brought me back to Luca seeing those Mos Espa Vespas.
Yeah. But
yeah, the whole gang, they're actually really cool. I actually really enjoyed.
I liked them in this episode. I just like the problem for me is that you can't come out of this remembering any of their names, or maybe you do, but I don't.
I don't know any one of their names.
Yeah, and that's kind of a problem to me. It's like
I also feel like it's because their names weren't mentioned that often, and because then again, we only got them in season 3.
You mean episode 3?
Episode 3 is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
more if they were going to make them.
And that's the thing too. Is we got them in season 3, which I mean, episode 3. Right? I keep saying season 3, episode 3. Which I mean, to be fair, there were still 4 other episodes to be released. But even then, for one, we didn't see them that often.
We should
in this season, and 2, their names weren't said very often.
And they should have been.
I think we heard their names once, and that was when they were first introduced, and that was it. We never heard their names ever again.
I just think they should have made efforts throughout the series, not necessarily the fault of this episode in particular, because this episode probably did the best job with them than it has been so far, but it's just like I think the series itself should have made more of an effort to make them memorable. You got episode 3 was short, Like,
it was like what,
short, it was
38 minutes.
You could have just spent a little more time with them, and that's all I'm saying.
I feel like, yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like you could have made that episode longer, and then you could have also maybe done like a backstory of these guys, and like showed like what happened to them, how they came together as a gang and became friends, and like done more. Yeah, just done more with them, because we didn't get much of them from episode 3 to the finale. We didn't really get much of them. So like
all we really got was some old guy coming in there, some kids causing trouble. Hey, come work for me. Hey,
that's all we got. Like we could have at least gotten like a flashback story of like how they came to meet and what happened to them and all that.
Yeah. So
because obviously, my assumption and my theory is that, you know, they might have gotten into some trouble with bad guys, and they were all like on the brink of death, and they all one by one came to this doctor who turns people into part droid, and that's how they all like came together as a gang. I mean, that's the only thing that I could really think of.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get them again, though. I don't think we've seen the last of them.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely get them in Mandalorian season 3 for sure.
Yeah, at least a couple of the members they'll pull. The girl's definitely coming back. She's definitely a bigger part.
And the guy with the droid eyes
coming back.
He's
those two at least are coming back.
They're the main two from the gang. 100%.
So those two are definitely coming back. You could tell they're trying to do more with them.
One of the people from that gang died in this episode, if you remember.
That's
in the
true.
shootout, that one of them got shot and died.
That's true. So yeah.
But I mean, the girl and the guy were definitely gonna be seen again, because they're the leader. They're like the leaders of the gang.
And again, if you'd have built out the gang throughout the series, we would have felt more of an impact upon that death. You know, it's like
I was gonna say, because I saw that person die, and I was like, okay, cool. One of their gang members. It's like if you would have given me more backstory of all the characters, then I probably would have felt more for that character. But since we didn't get much of them, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, she died.
For sure, yeah. So,
but we definitely will be seeing the medic guy more too, obviously, because in the teaser he was about to start operation on Cod Banth. So we're definitely be getting more of him as well.
He's coming.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we might even see him in Rangers of the New Republic if that happens. Yeah,
I hope it does.
But I mean, for sure we'll see him in Mandalorian season 3, because I feel like Cod Banth is gonna be in that season as well.
I think we have to get Rangers, and I'll tell you why. Because Favreau was developing it. He has the plan for it. It was a part of the plan. Why not use it? You know, it's just you just got to make one little tweak. I'm
wondering who he's gonna get to direct that stuff.
Probably him. He'll probably do it, because it's well. I mean, he'll be. Honestly, he's probably going to get other directors. He's a busy guy to do something.
I mean, it'd be cool if he gets Bryce Dallas Howard.
But that was supposed to be his series. Like, he was developing it, creating it on his own, you know, kind of thing. And then that's kind of because what it was supposed to be is Robert Rodriguez was spinning off into Boba Fett, which he did, and then Favreau worked with him on it. But I mean, it was mainly Robert Rodriguez's plan here. Right. Then you had Favreau, who was primarily going to do the Rangers, and then Filoni was primarily going to do Ahsoka. So that was the original plan. And then they were all going to come back together in season 3, obviously. But
of Mandalorian, right?
Mm-hmm. And then
and Bryce Dallas Howard is going to be in season 3 of Mandalorian as well.
Give her a show.
Honestly, give her a show, man. Like, I would love to see her have a show, because she's so talented as a director. Honestly,
look at Obi-Wan though. I mean, Deborah Chow is directing every episode of Obi-Wan. You know, so
really,
yeah. So
I'm so fucking excited for this show, man. Actually, dude, I can't wait for this Kenobi show. I'm actually like, this has probably been one of my most anticipated things from Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like, I'm so excited for this Kenobi. Just because I'm ready to see Hayden Christensen again. I'm ready to see Ewan McGregor again.
Yeah, this will bring us into our next topic, which is the release date for Obi-Wan, and also you know, what's next for Star Wars. Boba Fett's over. What's next? I mean,
right. So I mean, the release date. Disney Plus announced the release date of the Kenobi series, which is May 25th.
Yep.
Which I'm so looking forward to.
Anniversary of the New Hope's release.
I can't. I mean, it makes sense too. I can't wait for this show, because 100% Liam Neeson's gonna be a part of it too. There's no way in hell that he's not.
Yeah. Think about how cool that is, really quick, because it's on the anniversary of the day that anybody ever heard the name Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, honestly,
or just
like audience
Star Wars in general.
Yeah. heard the name Star Wars. I just think that's really poetic. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the
Run
first
with
time we
it.
ever heard of Kenobi or Star Wars in general, which
Yeah.
it just goes to show like that's gonna be that's just very impactful. And
Yeah.
I'm just ready to see all the characters and actors and actresses that are involved with this show and what it's gonna bring to Star Wars in general.
I'm half convinced that they're going to release a trailer on Super Bowl. The trailer's
Look,
coming.
and I think they're gonna release a couple trailers of a couple movies and shows on Super Bowl halftime.
I don't, only because of the expenses. But I do think that they're going to release Obi Wan to compete with Lord of the Rings, which they're going to show at Super Bowl. So
they're going to show both of those at the halftime.
Well, Lord of the Rings is coming at halftime, but Disney. The thing with Disney though, it's different than like Amazon Prime, who's putting out Lord of the Rings. The difference with Disney is that Disney has their own networks where they don't have to pay for the adage, so they can, just put it out if they want to.
So it'll just be during commercials, like when the teams have like a break or something. That's when you think they'll release it?
I think they will. Yeah. Maybe it's a halftime thing too. It could be. Maybe they make an announcement.
I'll be, I'm gonna be watching the whole Super Bowl, bro. I'm gonna be attentive as fuck, bro. I'm watching the whole Super Bowl.
That's me too. Yeah, anything can happen. Honestly, we could even get an Andor teaser. Who knows? I doubt it, but who knows? But I do think that Obi-Wan trailer is imminent. I did also hear that possibly during basketball season is when they're going to look into releasing it.
The NBA is still going. So,
but I definitely heard that. I definitely heard that they're looking at a sports event to do it at, and I think it's probably going to be Super Bowl. So I don't know. I'm not saying it is, not saying it's not, just saying I've heard that it might be. So I don't know.
I mean, whenever it releases, I'm ready.
Yeah, and I think it'll be cool, man. I mean, it'll be cool. Dude,
100%.
Here's the thing. This is why I get they've tried to release these trailers a lot closer to when the series actually come out. You look at like Boba Fett came out in like November and then the series came in December. But the difference with Obi-Wan is you got to build the momentum on it now, because there's a lot of people who got so pissed off at Force Awakens or Last Jedi or whatever that they haven't touched Star Wars since and they've tuned out. They don't even know this thing is coming. But the second they see Ewan McGregor in a trailer back as Obi-Wan, they're back in. So that's what
honestly, what better time to place a trailer than during Super Bowl, because that's when most American that's when most people are watching TV is during Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I mean, you have basically the whole of America watching TV during the Super Bowl.
That's the reason I think they'll pay for the promotion to get it in Super Bowl.
100%. They will definitely, with no hesitation, because they know that's when most, if not all, Americans are watching TV is for Super Bowl. And whether it's for the actual football itself, or if it's for the halftime show and the halftime commercials, or both, I mean, that's when most, if not all, Americans are watching TV. So what better time to place a Kenobi trailer than during the Super Bowl?
I think it's just really good timing. I mean, Boba Fett is over, so yeah.
I mean, the Kenobi series is the next Star Wars thing on the list. So
it makes sense. I mean, and if you look at the track record, maybe it's not as soon, but Moon Knight came shortly after Hawkeye ended, right? So I think the same will go for this.
Moon Knight comes out in May as well.
March. Moon Knight's coming
March. March.
I think it's like the end of the month.
Oh God, March 25th.
Yeah,
that's when it is.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for Moon Knight, man.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Oscar Isaac is gonna kill this, man. I can't wait.
For sure, Star Wars alum. But yeah,
Man's in Marvel and in Star Wars. Is crazy.
He does great work. I'm looking forward to that too. But so what else is what can we look?
So we have Andor.
Andor's coming this year.
We've got most likely Mandalorian season 3.
I think Bad Batch season 2 will happen this year, right? I think so.
I mean, look, if they don't do Rangers of the New Republic, I feel like Bad Batch could come out between Kenobi and Andor.
Yeah, I think it will.
If Rangers of the New Republic, which might not be confirmed, it's still a rumor, that if that doesn't come out, then I feel like they'll pull Bad Batch between.
Here's a question, and if not, it's no big deal. We just go to YouTube and do it. But here's a question: will Disney Plus air the Star Wars Celebration live as an event? Because the reason I'm asking is because, look, they did the Oscar announcement on Disney Plus. They did that live. It was their first live event on Disney Plus. So that's all I'm asking. I wonder if they're going to pull the same thing with Celebration. Now, nothing's been announced on it, but I just wonder. Because seeing as now we know they're into doing live events, it kind of makes sense to me that they would. So maybe that's something to look forward to on Disney Plus. Maybe we can go there and we'll get some, like, really... We'll get, like, a very nicely shot version of Celebration. Now, granted, they'll air it on YouTube anyway. We can watch it for free, but I wonder.
True. I mean, that would be really cool if they do.
Yeah, so that might be something to look forward to. And that's probably where we'll get Bad Batch Season 2 trailer. We'll get Andor. We'll get, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll probably do an Obi Wan panel, but I don't know if the show will be out, so you won't need to do a trailer. Because it should be out. They might
I guess
do
we'll
a featurette or something.
We'll keep looking for updates the closer we get to Celebrations. But I mean, I think it'd be really cool if they
think about it. If they don't do it on YouTube, it would make them more money to do it on Disney Plus. No longer.
But would it cost extra, or would it just be part of the subscription?
Like part of your subscription is what I mean. So you you're making more money than watching it for free. So it's a good business move
on YouTube. Yeah, true. Yeah, I honestly feel like it makes sense to air Celebrations on Disney Plus because it would also make it easier for people to watch online.
True.
The people that can't make it to Celebrations, or they don't have the money to pay to go to Celebrations.
Yeah, and then it's on there.
It's just easier. Yeah, it's just easier for people to watch it through Disney Plus. The people who can't go watch it. And like you said, it's making Disney money either way.
Yeah, it'll make them more money than to air it on YouTube and have everybody just watch it for free. Makes sense to me business wise. I think it'd be cool. And then you as a subscriber, you get a little bit more exclusive stuff than you would have on the YouTube channel. Like they're actually going to show you a lot more. Maybe they'll do like a virtual tour of the halls and stuff that they have, and that'd be sick. Yeah, that could be very cool. So I just wonder about that. If they're not doing it this year, they should do it next year.
We definitely need to go to one of these Celebrations.
We
definitely need to go.
Yeah. I'm mad. I found out that there was one in my home area at one point in time. And
I mean, there's probably one here in Atlanta, but I just wasn't living here at the time.
Yeah, they do it at a different location every year. So
that's what I mean. There was one here in Atlanta, probably, but I just wasn't living here at that time.
Before you know it, they're gonna do one in a midway point for us that we can go to. So
100%, bro. As soon as that happens, I'm copping tickets straight away.
Absolutely. $5,000. Yeah, they're expensive. So save up now.
$5,000 for one?
$5,000 for the ticket. Yeah. So save up now. Yeah. Well,
I know. That's how Disney makes their money. Fucking hell.
Worth every penny though. Yeah, man, it's true. But look, yeah, you're right.
I mean, you do get to see, Star Wars actors and actresses. So I mean, it is worth every penny.
Yeah, you do. A lot of them are in booths too, so you get to meet them and stuff. It's just,
exactly.
So it's a good deal. You get a lot. It doesn't sound like a good deal, but it really is if you're a Star Wars fan. I mean, this is the.
No, yeah, that's 100%. That's 100%. Oh yeah, 100% worth it. Honestly.
Anyway, so where was I going? So we got more series coming out though. I'm assuming Bad Batch season 2 and/or
Mandalorian season 3 most likely.
Yeah. So my question is too, for talking about just the story alone, where does that go? Because
which story? Bad Batch?
Just the story we're in as far as this, Boba Fett thing. I mean, where does that go? We kind of talked about this already. Maybe we can get a Rangers show, and then Mandalorian's going to be about taking Mandalorian over again.
The Mandalore
over again. I mean, and so maybe you could do something like that, and then
we might get like this big ass fight scene between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin.
Yeah.
Maybe she turns evil and she just wants the Darksaber back, so we might be seeing a big fight scene between them two.
I'm also going to predict Ahsoka comes out Q1 of next year. I think it's 2023, but I think it's in the first quarter. I think January to April, somewhere in that range. I'm looking at.
I mean, it's definitely going to come next year for sure.
Yeah. And so I think Ahsoka is going to give us a lot of answers about a lot of things too. I think that's going to be where we're really going to get it.
So what show do you think? What show do you think the Ben Solo stuff's going to happen?
I think they're going to do an animated one.
Really?
I think there's going to be an animated Luke and Ben show. Yeah.
So that's where you think all that's gonna go down, where Ben Solo kills Ahsoka and the students and all that.
I think they're going to do an
Because like
animated
I said
series.
again, they kind of did that in the Terrifying Tales Lego thing, except Ahsoka wasn't in it, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you have Filoni. I think that'll be his next project after Bad Batch. I think that'll be the next animated thing he embarks on, honestly, and it makes sense.
It's gonna be called Ben Solo, a Star Wars story.
Could be. Could be. Be something about.
That'd be
I don't
pretty
know.
cool.
You could call it the Rise of Kylo Ren, which is what they called that little comic that came out. Yeah.
True.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So that's a possibility.
But what else is coming? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else announced? I mean, what about Rogue Squadron?
Rogue Squadron is hopefully still happening in 2023. It makes sense if it does, because otherwise 2023 is a pretty empty year. I mean, we'll probably get Mandalorian season 4 too in 2023.
I was gonna say, because nothing's really been, and maybe even a Book of Boba Fett season 2.
Possibly, yeah. Mandalorian
but I mean,
season 4. We'll get a slate celebration too. I guarantee.
I was gonna say, because I mean, besides that, nothing else is, at least show wise, nothing's been confirmed.
Lando's got to come at some point.
I mean, that's what I mean. But besides any of that other stuff, nothing else has really been confirmed for 2023 or 2024. So
I think Lando will probably come 2023 as well. Honestly, I think they'll probably pull Donald Glover out on the stage at Celebration and announce that he did sign on to do Lando.
Do we have any movies announced for next year?
No, Rogue Squadron next year.
Right, that's the only one. Okay, well, it's gonna be a dry year next year. Jesus,
that's what I mean. I think they got to do that Lando show next year too. I think.
I mean, we'll have Ahsoka next year. We'll have hopefully Book of Boba Fett season 2.
Yeah,
like you said, the Lando series.
I'm sure we'll get Star Wars Visions too this year too.
Oh my gosh, I want a season 2 so bad, because the first one was just the first one was just so fucking good, man. I loved that first season.
I think this year is going to be pretty packed. I think come May we're going to be like, whoa, that's like we got a lot of shit coming. We got more than we thought. I think come May when they announce a new slate of stuff coming, we're going to be like, wow, this is going to be packed.
I mean, yeah, we'll have. I mean, in May we're going to have Kenobi series.
Acolyte's another one that could come next
Acolyte.
Year too. That's probably coming next year. Honestly. Acolyte's probably Q1 of next year. Ahsoka, they're probably going to leave for the summertime. I think Acolyte's going to come Q1.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
what do you think they'll drop? What do you think they'll drop for like December time?
Season 4 Mandalorian.
You think they're going to go back to back years like that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah.
I think they really wanted to this year. I do. They did for 1 and 2. Why not? I mean, I think they wanted to. 4. I think they wanted to this year. I think Book of Boba Fett was a good way to have a somewhat smaller production that they could do during the pandemic.
I was gonna say something to have in between.
Yeah.
Season 2 and season 3.
I think that's why I really am truly believing Boba Fett was a one-off. I think they just needed something to fill the gap so they could do something smaller. A lot of the scenes are in kind of scale than Mando,
and also to like tease stuff for the future.
Yeah.
Like season 3 of Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic, and other stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of the characters, and look at it. I mean, a lot of these characters in, whether it be a costume or not, in Boba Fett had a mask on. So I think they were just looking to do something that they could do while the
pandemic. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense now. It makes a lot of sense now too. They were kind of just trying to do a one-off thing to kind of fill the void between season 2 and season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go back Mandalorian heart and to Mandalorian.
Oh my god, this season 3 of Mandalorian is gonna be so fucking. It might actually become my favorite season of Mandalorian, man. I think it's gonna be a very, very good season. They're gonna go all out for this season.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be interesting. I don't
look, man. Look, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Mandalorian is the best thing that Star Wars has done, and it's gonna continue. And I think honestly, it's gonna continue that way. I think Mandalorian has a very bright future ahead of it, and it's gonna be the best show that Disney has ever done. Probably even the best thing that Disney will probably ever do.
We'll
see. But I mean, as of right now, it's honestly the best thing that they've done. So
keeps getting nominated for Emmys every year too. It's insane.
And I'm not surprised, because look at the fucking show, man. It's phenomenal stuff, man. I mean, Pedro Pascal, he's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Cara Dune, I mean, Gina Carson, the stuff she was in was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
Yeah. I mean, Grogu. I mean, can't go wrong with Grogu.
Really, really can't. Yeah, dude. I think Mandalorian.
I mean, Bo-Katan, phenomenal. Even Sasha Banks, the bits that she was in was great, and it's sad. It's sad to see that she's not going to be a part of season 3. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm really sad because I actually really liked her character.
I think Mandalorian's going to go for the next 3 years. I think we're going to get season 3 this year, season 4 the year after, season 5 the year after that, and then I think they're going to do a movie.
I would love to see a movie. Honestly,
I think that's where they're going to wrap it all up.
That'd be great. Honestly,
I think they're going to do a movie to wrap it. Yeah,
that would be that. I would love to see a movie.
That's where you make your money, man. You
100%.
You set it up for a movie, and you'll make tons of money.
You do like 5-6 seasons, and then you just set up a movie and you make it.
Yeah, the movie's gonna be, I guarantee, it's gonna be Mando, it's gonna be Ahsoka, it's gonna be everybody, and they're all
Boba Fett, Fennec Shan.
They're all
Grogu.
gonna go fight Thrawn's army. That's the movie. That's how you do it. Yeah.
Oh my! You know what? Yes, bro.
That's how you do it. That's how you set it up.
Give me that movie, please. Give me it right now, because I would love that.
$1 billion in its sleep if they do that.
Oh, dude, 100%. It would go in like the top 10 highest grossing of all time.
It might be the highest grossing Star Wars movie ever if they do.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, highest grossing Star Wars movie of all time for sure.
That's going to be their Avengers Endgame. That's my opinion of it. You know,
is that the Marvel's highest grossing movie?
It's the second highest grossing movie of all time. So yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Because Avatar. Yeah. Because Avatar's no, it's not Avatar. Is Avatar number 1?
Yeah, Avatar's one.
Dude, Avatar's still, bro. Avatar. That just goes to show how fucking amazing Avatar is. I love that movie.
Yeah, thanks. Nobody else talks about how great it is, but I love it,
bro. Honestly, it's so underrated. Like, yeah. I mean, obviously not because it's highest grossing of all time, but
we need to talk about Avatar 2 because this is actually throwing
Avatar 2 comes out this year. Avatar 2 comes out this year.
It does, but we need to talk about this on this show because this is actually kind of, I don't know that a lot of people realize this because this information came out a while back and I think they're still sticking with this. This is kind of throwing a little bit of a wrench into the plans for Star Wars a little bit because, so Disney's whole plan right now is to do Avatar 1 year, Star Wars the next, Avatar the year after, because, I mean, Star Wars the next.
I was going to say, because it's been announced, it was announced that they were going to do Avatar 2 this year, Avatar 2 in 2024, and then Avatar 3 in 2026.
Right. So this is how we know when we're getting a Star Wars movie, because
it's going to be Star Wars movie in 2023, Star Wars movie in 2025, and Star Wars movie in 2027.
Right. Yeah. Right. I didn't know. I don't know if everybody realized that. Like that's kind of what they're doing.
I was gonna say I knew that because I saw that Avatar 2 was confirmed for 2024 and Avatar 3 was confirmed for 2026.
Yeah,
because they wanted to do one Avatar movie, then a Star Wars, then an Avatar, then a Star Wars, then an Avatar, then a Star Wars. Yeah,
because Disney is banking on Avatar to be their other Star Wars. You know, like
they really. Well, I mean, look, they're banking. Look, because Disney's 2 highest grossing movies of all time. Well, actually, Endgame is there, but I mean, Star Wars still banks
domestically though. Domestically, it's still Force Awakens, the highest of all time.
There you go. Yeah. So like, Avatar and Star Wars make them so much fucking money domestically that like those 2 categories bank them so much money that they want to make one year and then one the other, just because they know that those 2 categories bank them so much fucking money that that's how they have to do it. I mean, to keep the money rolling in, that's what they have to do.
So I'm guessing, this is a guess, I'm assuming Rogue Squadrons 2023.
23, yep.
And then Avatar 3, and then Taika's movie 2024. That's what I'm guessing.
And then, no, 2025, because 2024 is Avatar.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then 2026 is Avatar 3, and then 2027, who knows what's going to come out for Star Wars.
Avatar 3 would be 2024, because this is Avatar 2. Avatar 2 comes this
year. Yeah, Avatar 3, 2026.
Then Rogue Squadrons, then Avatar 3, then...
Yeah, so it goes Avatar 2 this year, then you said Rogue Squadrons, then Avatar 3, then Taika's, and then that'd be 2026? No, 7.
Yeah.
7, because 2026 is Avatar 3.
And I think by that time, though, we're going to be getting 2 Star Wars.
Oh no, Avatar! I forgot Avatar 4 is coming out 2026. I forgot that they've got three more coming.
Right.
And then 2027, who knows what Star Wars movie is going to come out?
I think by that time we're going to have 2 per year Star Wars movies at least.
Because I feel like Avatar 4 is going to be their last. I feel like they're going to try and end Avatar somehow in 2020.
I think it's
with Avatar. But that's what I mean. In 2026, Avatar 4 is confirmed.
Yeah.
2026, because it goes Avatar 2, Avatar 2 this year. Mm-hmm. Then Avatar 3 in 2024, and then Avatar 4 in 2026. Yeah. So that's how they're gonna end it. In 2026 with Avatar 4 is where it's gonna They're gonna find a way somehow to end it there in
Yeah, so
2026.
that's another reason that we might not get Kenobi too, because I bet you we get the Avatar trailer in Super Bowl this year. So that's I
Ooh,
can
yeah,
almost
that's.
guarantee it
Oh,
because
we might get all of them, bro. Fuck it.
who knows? It's just the costs. We got to be logical about it because the
Yeah,
costs
but
of a
Disney's
Super
got
Bowl ad.
money, bro. They got money to
Yeah,
throw.
they did that whole thing that one year when with the Super Bowl. They were like, we're not doing it because of the costs, So they threw a fit that one year.
Disney's got money this year,
They
man. They
got
got
less money
money.
than they've ever had right now. They got less money than they've ever
Fuck.
had. Since the pandemic, they lost billions. So
Yeah, but they just.
not that they don't have billions more. I'm not saying that.
I was
I'm
about to say,
saying,
like, Spider-Man is like
yeah.
number 6. It's number 6 in highest grossing
Don't
of
get
all
me wrong.
time.
They have
Like, they
billions
got
and billions
money.
of dollars still. It's just the fact that they already kind of
And
threw
I
a fit
mean,
about this.
fuck. I mean, how much does it cost really to put a trailer as an ad during halftime? I mean, it
$2
probably
million.
doesn't cost. Fam, they made a like 1.7 billion from Spider-Man. So just throw in 2 mil, bro. That's nothing for you guys.
Yeah, look, I hope we do. I hope that all this stuff comes up at Super Bowl.
And so once Avatar is over, I feel like you said, you're gonna get 2 Star Wars movies.
I think that would be
one every 2 years, and then I feel like we'll get a Marvel movie in between there.
One of two things is going to happen. We're either going to end up with 2 Star Wars movies per year, or that's the end of Disney movies in general, and everything goes to Disney Plus. That's the other option.
Well, it's just all gonna be shows.
Dude, it's the way to go. It seems like it seems like this is the new revolution, of Disney is the shows and stuff. It's not that they'll never do movies again. It's just I think at this point they're so focused on shows. It's like they're so focused on Disney Plus. I do feel like we're gonna get to the point where by that time we might be watching everything at home. It's like it's just scary to think about, but like to never see a Star Wars movie in the theater again.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, we got this whole IMAX thing now too, where it can feel like it's a theater. Where I feel like, look, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy, because I love going to a theater. I prefer going to a theater.
I'd rather go to a theater. Yeah.
100%.
If I could watch these shows in the theater, that's where I would be to do
bro,
it. Yeah.
that would be so sick. But I feel like technology these days is advancing so much that we could make it feel like we're at a theater at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
like,
look at the Oculus.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like in the future, we're just not even gonna, like, theaters are gonna be gone. Like,
we're
just not
gonna
gonna
be sitting in a theater with the headset on. That's what
I mean. We're not
by that time.
like theaters in the future. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Theaters in the future at some point, they're just not gonna exist anymore.
Disney Plus is gonna release a VR app, and you're gonna pay an admission price to watch these things in the theater.
That's what I'm like. That's what I mean. Like, theaters are just gonna cease to exist at some point in the future. I hate to say it, but I feel like they're going to, because the technology is advancing so much that you're gonna feel like you're at a theater at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah. And look, I mean, if Disney in general stops making movies, I wouldn't be mad, because I prefer shows anyways. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, Disney movies in general. But I wouldn't be mad if they stopped at some point. I mean, I really don't want to be at like
We're
Marvel.
Coming to it eventually.
I don't want to go to a theater for Marvel 40. Like, come on now. Like, at some point, you need to stop. Like,
yeah.
Look at like, there's so many franchises that stop at like 15 or 10. I mean, like, Marvel at some point needs to just say, you know what?
They will.
We're just gonna stick to shows, honestly.
The superhero genre is not going to live on forever. I can promise you that. It's not. This is something that's going to die down. The thing that's going to last, honestly, is Star Wars. Star Wars is going to last forever. It's going to stand the test of time. I mean, it's.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and whether it's the movies stop and they just do shows, either way, it's going to be. And that's the thing, is you can turn a movie into a show easy. Like, it's not. You could definitely do that. I mean, it's not hard, and so I mean. That's why I feel like Disney movies in general are just gonna stop. Honestly, they're just gonna go straight to just shows, and I wouldn't be mad with that, because I actually prefer the shows. If I'm being honest, I mean, they're really good.
When they do this big team up movie, Star Wars Endgame or whatever it's gonna be called,
that might be the final one. It's gonna be the final
Star last stake in the thing. I really feel like that's gonna be them saying goodbye
to movies. Yeah,
and I think that's going to be them. This is really scary to think about, but it is going to be them probably doing that, and also just showing the world Star Wars will always come back out on top. I think that's what it's going to do. I think it will. That movie is going to be the highest grossing movie
what?
of all time. I'm predicting it now. Yep.
You know what? I agree with you on that
Mm-hmm.
because nothing would make me happier
Mm-hmm.
than to see Star Wars be a Star Wars movie be the highest grossing of all time. And you know what I think they're gonna put at the end of that movie is memories of previous Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
You know, previous movies, previous like kind of behind the scenes stuff from filming the older movies and all the memories that they've had filming all these, you know, older Star Wars movies, just to kind of bring the Star Wars fans, you know, back to those memories, those amazing memories that they all went through. And then that's when they're just going to end, you know, stop making movies and it's just all going to be shows from then on.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I feel like they might, you know, I feel like they're going to do the same thing with Marvel.
Yeah.
The last movie they make is going to be this big team up of all the Avengers coming against this big bad.
Yeah.
And they're going to do memories, you know, the end credit scene will be a bunch of memories of filming all the older movies and all the memories that they went through. I mean, it's honestly a great way to end movies, if I'm being honest.
Look, and I'll say this on the Star Wars end of it too. Like I've been saying it, I like the television better, so it's fine. You know, it's fine to get the television because I like the TV better. You know, I think it's TV. It's made for it. You know,
and it's not like we're never gonna see a Star Wars movie ever again because I mean we have Disney Plus. So I mean.
Yeah, they'll make movies. It's just like they're gonna say goodbye to the theater experience, I think.
Yeah, so they'll still make movies. They'll just release them on Disney Plus.
They're gonna say
releasing them in theaters.
They're gonna say put on your headset, pay $30 a month for a VR app, and you'll get the movie.
Bro, I will do that.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? That premiere access you guys do on Disney Plus, just put that over to a VR app, and I would.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
I would pay. Honestly, like paying $30 to watch a movie that releases the same day in theaters is ridiculous because you can just pay $11 to go see it in a theater versus paying $30 to watch it at home. I mean, just put those $30 into a VR app so that people can feel like they're in the theaters to watch the movie. And that's basically like going to a theater to pay for the movie, except you don't have to go to the theater. You're at home. Right. So like, just if you want to keep making movies, just do it that way because it just makes more sense.
We just gotta hope that crazy Bob Chapek doesn't burn it all down to the ground. But look, guys, this is gonna wrap it up. This is the end of it. So yeah, thanks so much for joining. This has been a fun episode of Imperial Order, Jose. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, this was I'm glad that I hopped. I'm glad this podcast is my favorite, 100%.
Yeah, mine too. I love doing
honestly because not only because it's Star Wars, but just because I just feel so comfortable in doing this podcast because it's what we love so much and talking all this stuff with you is so much fun. And I look forward every week to recording this specific podcast with you because it's just, I feel so comfortable doing this podcast and it just fills me with warmth every time I do it. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. Likewise, very much likewise. So yeah. Look, guys, that'll do it for Imperial Order today. Jose, before we go, where can people find you?
You can find me on all socials at Type 1 Latino, all lowercase, all together.
Oh, yeah. And I've been Dom Martino once again. Thank you guys so much for joining. You can follow me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_ and on Instagram, Dom_Martino_official. And if you want to follow the Anorax pages on Twitter at Anorax Official and on Instagram, Anorax Official, we're starting to post shit again. So go follow us. We're kind of trying to keep up with social media again. And guys, I don't know if anybody here would be interested in this audience, but I did put up a review for Death on the Nile. If you want to know, if you want to go, got to go see that this weekend, go check that out as well. I had a really good time with the movie, but yeah, go ahead and see what I had to say about it and go from there. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining again. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications, and that'll do it for this episode of Imperial Order. We'll talk to you guys later.
See you.